Hi there, my name's Anna and welcome back to my art channel. I've just come back from a lovely holiday with my fiance and I wanted to show you a little sketch that I started while I was there and I finished here at home in the studio. And it's this little cityscape and it's of the old town of Alcudia, and I thought, since I filmed the process, I'll just show you how I finished off this little plein air painting. So I hope you enjoy the process. Thank you for watching the video. Remember to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel, and keep your eyes open for a studio tour coming up soon. So on to the drawing portion. I'm getting my materials ready to finish this little sketch, and here you can see one of my reference photos from the holiday, and here you can see what it looked like when I was sketching on scene. My process as far as I had gotten on that day, and here's another photo of the church square where we were sitting and drawing. I think my boyfriend was actually writing some postcards at the time, and I just took advantage of the time to do a little bit of sketching, but I didn't want to make him wait for me for ages because drawing buildings actually takes some time. Drawing maybe a seascape, as I did earlier in the holiday, I could finish that within half an hour to an hour. And if you're at the seascape, also whoever's with you might be a little bit more patient because they can sit and lie in the sun and enjoy the scenery. But if you're in a town, you want to walk around and look at things, and I didn't want to make him wait forever. And I think it did take me over an hour to finish this off when I was at home, and nearly 2 hours actually, because buildings are just very complex. And obviously I didn't sketch things out perfectly when I was there. It's all a little bit crooked and skewered, and perspective's not perfect. But I think that's just normal for a plein air painting. You don't have a lot of time and you don't have a photo you're working off, so depending on what way you're looking at the scene, the things can change. Anyway, here I'm using a fine liner to add some outlines to this drawing to just give it a bit more definition, because I noticed when I was there, the initial sketch I liked, but once I started putting down color, it looked a bit washed out and there wasn't a lot of definition. Of course, I could have rectified that with paint as well. It's just easier to add some outlines to this kind of scene. And make sure that all the lines are preserved. And I'm using a ruler to do this now that I am home and in the studio. I'm finishing this off in a very different way than I would have had I been on scene. I'm using a ruler, which obviously I wouldn't have had available there, and I was drawing while I was standing and I was holding my little sketchbook in my hand, so I couldn't have used a ruler there. And I'm using a proper paintbrush. When I was there, I was just using kind of a travel brush filled with water, just a little water brush, so I didn't need a water container or anything, which is very handy when you're out. But back in the comfort of my studio, I used everything that was available to me to make this look nice. And it certainly did help to be able to put down straight lines. It's not that easy actually doing that freehand. And with architecture and a lot of straight lines, that is of a lot of help. And I don't draw buildings that much. Mostly I draw landscapes or animals, maybe even people recently. And we're not buildings that often. It is fun though. But there's always so much little detail everywhere, and I find it very hard to leave detail out and to simplify things. I had a lot of trouble with the church window because obviously I couldn't put all the details in because the painting was just way too small. This is a tiny little sketchbook and I'm working on 2 pages, but still it's very small. Anyway, this process was a lot of fun, just kind of working on this after I had got back home. I really love painting when I'm on holidays, just kind of capturing what you're seeing. It's just keeps the memory alive even more than a photo would, and I really love looking back through my sketchbooks and seeing these odd plein air paintings. Obviously it's not a plein air painting anymore. I did finish it at home, and it's a little bit more refined than it would have been just splashing paint on the paper while I was there. I'm using the same paints though. I'm using my little travel kit, and I actually really enjoy using these paints even when I'm at home sometimes, just because it is automatically a limited palette. And it's good for mixing practice, obviously, but it's also good to keep things harmonious, because you're always using the same mixes of colors to draw a variety of different subject matter and different shades, and you can get a lot of different colors by doing this. I found it also very hard to mix this sandy color of this church, and a lot of the buildings around Alcudia, they had this lovely sandy color that a Mediterranean town just is inclined to have, but I just found it hard to mix that. Yeah, I'm using actually a variety of different browns here. I'm using my burnt sienna, but I'm also using something that I assume something like an Indian red and yellow ochre, and then I'm mixing it with blue to dull it down, or with the other browns, depending on what shade of brown I need. And I need loads of shades of brown because, you know, it's buildings and trees, wood. I'm darkening up areas that I had already painted, like the palm tree, and adding in some more details, like a little bit of brickwork on that left-hand building. And I didn't like the sky, it was much too light as I had put it down when I was there. And now I put down some more blue in the sky, and it actually turned out a bit too dark, nearly like a night sky. But it, you know, gives a painting more color, because obviously all of those sandy buildings are very pale in color. So I just wanted a bit more color in my painting, and I did add some gouache to kind of dull the blue down a bit. And there were some little clouds in the sky on that day, so that fitted the scene very nicely. Using a very dark mix for some of the open windows. It's a very dark blue mixed with brown. It gives you nearly a black colour. And I also really like that green door and those green shutters in the scene, just to also add a pop of colour, along with the green of the flower pot there and the palm tree. That really ties the scene together, I think. And those plants growing over the wall there in the right hand corner, you had them in nearly every alley, and it just looked beautiful, with some of the buildings being a bit old. I mean, it is an old town, it's like a medieval town, and then those lovely colourful plants growing over the sides of the walls on some of the buildings. It just was really beautiful there. It was also very enjoyable to use a proper paintbrush rather than just my water brush. I'm using my silver black velvet small brush. I don't actually know what size it is, but it's fairly small, so I can do a lot of detail here. And I'm working in a very small sketchbook, so I don't need a very large paintbrush. I kept the roofs of the buildings actually relatively simple. I didn't paint all of those little tiles on the roofs. I just made a wavy line at the bottom and the top of the roof, and then just some connecting lines, and then added some uneven paint on top to give it some texture. And obviously on the church I didn't draw in all of those bricks either. I just suggested some of them with paint, just to keep things a bit simple. I mean, otherwise I'd have gone crazy trying to draw all of the details. Anyway, yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it turned out, and I know I'll enjoy looking back on this in years to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon in one of my next videos. Take care and bye bye.